Hi everyone, welcome to Live Stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are going to be playing with a series of repetitive movements based on sun salutations. Kai, this class is for you. That repetitive motion is there to build up heat energy in the body, get the body sweating, perspiring, getting rid of toxins in the body. I'm going to set a moderate pace. You're more than welcome to speed the movement up or slow it down depending on how your energy levels are feeling this morning. If you need to take a little time out, feel comfortable to come to child pose, big toes together, knees open nice and wide, either extending the arms out in front of you or stacking the forearms and resting your head or wrapping the arms around the body while you rest the forehead on the mat. You could even elect to keep your repetitive movements really simple and just play with 3 poses. Child, table, and a down dog frame. Oscillating dynamically between the 3, moving as slowly as you need to and taking as much time out as you need to. Remember, listen to your body and play where you're at. For the stretch series at the end of the class, you're going to need a yoga strap, and I'd like you to tie a little loop into the strap so that you can feed your foot into the strap. I've got a Manduka strap here that has a modified D-ring, so once you feed the strap through and you give it a little tug, it locks securely in place, giving you a nice snug fit, but not cutting into the flesh. If you don't have a strap at hand, you could modify using a hand towel or maybe a belt. It will still give you a good stretch. Even if you are really nimble, I'd like you to use a strap as a prop so that you can really get deeply into that stretch. All right, you ready to play? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set ourselves up standing at the front end of the mat and setting ourselves up in summer seating for sun salutation A, then we'll flow into sun salutation B, and then we're going to mix it up by using a little dynamic, more of a plyo sun salutation. I'll give modifications as we go along. Play where you're comfortable. All right, standing up nice and tall with your feet stacking in parallel underneath your hips, tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button in, and find mountain tadasana, floating your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Think of that stack through your body, rooting through the feet, stacking your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your hips, with your head beautifully center aligned. This will be your start and end position between rounds. Take a big breath in and float your hands overhead, taking a gentle back bend and stretching through the lower belly area. Bend at the knees, fold forward, place your hands on the mat and step back into a plank line. Drop to the knees, relax your feet, bend through the elbows, keep them tucked in towards your rib cage, and caterpillar down onto the belly, finding a gentle cobra line with the arms at your sides, elbows tucked in, pushing softly into the palms, stay, or push into the palms and the bridges of your feet, coming into a modified up dog, strong through the shoulders, strong through the lower belly area and the inner thighs. Tuck your toes under. Come into a down dog frame and take your dog for a walk by bending the alternate knee and starting to warm up the back chain of the legs. Step up the right leg, stacking underneath your hip as best you can, and step up the left. Peel up along the center line, finding your way back to your start position in mountain with the hands in prayer. Let's start moving and going for flow. Take a big breath in, take a gentle back bend, exhale, fold forward, step back into a plank line, pause, strong through the shoulders, drop to the knees, relax your feet, bend the elbows, swoop down, find your way onto the belly, pause in your cobra line, tuck those elbows in, push into the palms and the bridges of your feet, hold a nice strong up dog, feel that lower belly area working, tuck your toes under and take your dog for a walk. Step up the left leg and then the right, finding your way to the front of the mat. Peel it up, hands to heart center. Big breath in, take a back bend. Exhale and fold forward. Step back into the plank. Relax to your knees. Soften through the feet. Caterpillar down, finding your way into cobra. Push into the palms and the bridges of your feet. Hold a modified up dog. And then tuck your toes under, find a down dog, and take it for a walk. Step up the right leg and then the left. Peel it up. Check that weight bearing on the feet. Find your way back to mountain, hands in prayer. Big breath in. Take a back bend. Exhale and fold forward. Step back into a plank. Drop to the knees. Caterpillar your down, flowing into cobra. Morph into an up dog. And then find your down dog frame and walk it out. We're going to do one more round of the A series. Step up left and then right. Peel up along the center line. Hands to heart center. Big breath in. Take a gentle back bend. Exhale and fold forward. Every time trying to get deeper into the stretch. Ease your way into a plank. Drop to the knees. Keep those elbows tucked in as you caterpillar down. Pause in your cobra line, Bhujangasana. And then find your way into your up dog and pause. Up dog, Urdhva Mukha, Svanasana. Find your down dog. Walk it out. Adho Mukha, Svanasana. Step up the right leg and then the left. Soft through the knees as you ragdoll roll up. Last time on the left to complete the sequence. Take a big breath in and give me a back bend. Exhale and fold forward, pausing and enjoying that stretch. Find your way into a plank line, Kumbhakasana. Drop to the knees, caterpillar down, finding your way into your cobra line. Keep those elbows tucked in, lengthen through the spine. Push into the palms and the bridges of your feet, strong through the inner thighs and the core and the shoulders. Find your down dog, walk it out. Step up the right leg and then the left. Peel it up along the center line. Big breath in. Take the back bend. Exhale and fold forward. Step back into your plank. Drop to the knees. Caterpillar into your cobra line. Morph into your up dog. And then find your down dog. Walk it out. We're going to transition into sun salutation B. Step up left and then right, finding your way to the front of the mat and easing into Tadasana. If your knees are feeling niggly, keep your feet hip-width distance apart. Otherwise, heel-toe in, connecting your big toes and your ankles, and find a narrow mountain, Tadasana. Root through your feet and lengthen through your spine. Think of that stack through the body. Take a big breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, sit back into an imaginary chair, Utkatasana, giving me weight into the bum and the heels. Open up your legs if you need to create more space, otherwise keep a narrow chair line. Arms floating overhead alongside your ears. Fold softly forward into Uttanasana, little soft forward fold, and you could bend and extend through the knees if the back chain of the legs is feeling really tight. Hold your forward fold and then step back into a soft lunge line on the right. Open up through the groin area. Try and give me a little sway back and forth and just open up any tightness that you're feeling in the groin. We're going to mix it up by taking a teeny step forward with the back leg and coming into a little pyramid shape. Intense stretch. Placing both hands on the mat if you can to intensify the stretch and bringing the crown of your head closer to the floor, or keeping it really gentle and hanging from about waist height in a tabletop frame. Soften through the knees and step back into a plank line. We're going to not play with a full chaturanga. We're going to keep it in a modified caterpillar, saving the arms for our last sun salutation series. Bend through the elbows and find your way into your cobra. Morph seamlessly into your up dog and then transition into your down dog and hold the down dog frame. Don't pedal it out. All right, let's find our way into a warrior two line on the right. Softly kick up the right leg behind you in a three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, swing it through to the inside of the right hand. If the leg gets stuck on the mat, corral that sucker. Bring it forward, line up knee over ankle on the lead leg and drop the back leg to 90. Windmill your body open and give me a soft T frame through the arms. Try not to lean aggressively forward. Try to keep your body weight centered and check that you're not dropping the back arm. Lengthen and peek over that front arm, keeping your gaze steady over the front forefinger as you find your warrior two position. Then pivot on your back foot and rotate so that your hips are looking to the front of the mat and you're dropping your center of gravity lower to the floor, framing your ears with your arms softly overhead, giving me a modified warrior one. Drop both sets of hands to the mat, framing your lead leg and step back into a plank. Drop to the knees, caterpillar down, resading the arms. Come into your cobra, bleed into your up dog, find your down dog and hold. Push into the hands and feet simultaneously, trying to get the heels of your feet to connect to the mat as best you can while piking your bum up to the ceiling and pull that belly button in. Step up one leg at a time or come up onto your fingertips, softly bend through the knees, almost think relaxed dog, and take a little bunny hop forward, landing softly on the balls of your feet. Keep the feet pushed together along the midline if you can. Connect the whole foot line to the mat and softly sit back into your chair as you frame the head with your arms. Float back up along the center line and find your way into mountain. Let's repeat that little sequence, trying to move with more fluidity. Big breath in. Find your seat in Utkatasana, chair. Weight into your bum and your heels. Fold forward into Uttanasana, trying to connect your palms to the mat, bending and extending through the legs if you need to, or holding that forward fold steady. Play where you're comfortable. Soften through the knees and take a soft step back with the left leg, finding a lunge line, holding it, or moving dynamically and rocking back and forth to open up through the groin area. Still your lunge line and scooch up the back leg, finding your way into a narrow pyramid. Hands connected to the mat, dropping the crown of the head to the floor, or just play in table. Soften through the knees and step back into a plank line. Pause in your plank, push the mat away, then caterpillar down into your cobra line. Morph seamlessly into your up dog, and then bleed dynamically into your down dog. Push into the hands and feet, stretch all the muscles of the body as you find Adho Mukha Svanasana. Kick up into a three-legged dog on the left, and then swing the left leg through, stepping to the inside of the left hand. Drop your back leg to 90 and windmill your torso up, giving me a long T-frame. Don't drop that back arm. Think length through the arms and keep looking over the front forefinger, trying to even out your body weight. Tuck your back toe under, transition. Drop low to the mat. Hips are looking to the front of the mat. Feet are pointed to the front of the mat, and you're framing the ears. Drop your hands either side of the lead leg and step back into a plank. Drop to the knees, caterpillar down, finding your way from cobra straight into your up dog. Tuck your toes under, hold your down dog. Try to really push into the palms and push into the feet. Try and open up that tightness behind the knees. Step up one leg at a time or come up onto your fingertips as you softly relax the dog and hop up. No thumping, landing softly on your feet. Float straight into your chair, weight into your bum and your heels, trying to bring your thighs as parallel to the floor as you can, and float up along the center line. Hands to heart center. Take a big breath in, find your chair. Fold it forward and pause in your Uttanasana, bending and extending if you need to, or holding that stretch. Step back on the right. Find your lunge line, open up through the groin. Feel for those areas of tightness and try to get as much blood flow into that tightness as you can. Scooch up the back leg and give me a narrow pyramid. Really try to breathe into those areas of tightness, and every time you come into the pose, try to drop and come a little bit deeper into the movement. Step back into a plank line. Drop to the knees. Relax your feet, caterpillar down, Bleeding from your cobra line into your up dog. Strong through those shoulders and the core. Tuck your toes under and hold your down dog. Try to get those heels to connect to the floor. Push into the palms, pike your bum up to the ceiling. Softly kick up the right leg behind you in a three-legged dog, and then swing through to the inside of your right hand. Drop the back leg to 90. Windmill your torso open and find Virabhadrasana 2. Lengthen through the arms. Try not to lean forward. Watch that body weight. Keep your gaze steady over your front forefinger. Tuck your back toe under. Find a modified warrior one. Come low to the floor and frame your ears, but keep those shoulders nice and soft. Drop the hands either side of the lead leg and ease your way into a plank. Drop to the knees, caterpillar down, finding your cobra and bleeding into your up dog. Transition into your down dog and hold your down dog stretch. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Soften through the knees, come up onto your fingertips, give me a little hop. Soft on the balls of your feet. Transition straight into your chair. Try to bring those thighs nice and parallel. Feel the loading through your legs. Float softly up along the center line and find your way into Tadasana. Big breath in. Find your chair. Take a seat. Fold it forward and hold the forward fold or play dynamically with your knee movement. Give me a step back on the left. Find your lunge line, hold it, or play dynamically. Scooch up your back leg, set up your narrow pyramid. Parsavottanasana, place your hands on the mat if you can and think nose to knee, coming deeper into the stretch. Soften through the knees and ease your way into a plank line. Push the mat away. Drop to the knees, relax your feet, caterpillar down into cobra, bleed into your up dog. Tuck your toes under, find your down dog and hold. Soften through the left knee and kick up the left leg behind you in Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Swing through to the inside of the left leg, drop your back leg to 90, windmill up, find your warrior two line, lengthen through the arms and center yourself. Tuck your back toe under, pivot, face the front of the mat and frame your ears, coming low to the ground. Drop your hands either side of the lead leg and ease your way into a plank line. Drop to the knees, relax your feet, caterpillar down, bleed into your up dog, and then find your down dog and pause, trying to stretch the arms and the legs. Drop the crown down and pike your bum up to the ceiling. Keep that belly button firmly pulled in. Step up or give me soft fingertips, bending through the knees and hopping to the front of your mat. Connect the big toes and the ankles. Sit back in your chair and float your hands to heart center. Come back along the center line and pause for a breath. We're going to start making the movement a little bit more plyometric. Stay or play where you are. From your mountain pose, you're either going to just take a gentle back bend or you're going to launch up, giving me a little jump, landing softly on the balls of your feet to fold forward and bend and extend through the knees, connecting your fingertips or your palms to the mat. Keep the movement dynamic. You're going to step or hop back into the plank line and hold your plank steady. Parallel body line to the mat. We're going to full chaturanga down. Use your knees if you need to. Listen carefully for the changes. Bend through the elbows, hug them in. See if you can hover your chin just off the floor. Then drag the body weight forward, keeping your toes tucked under or dropping onto the bridges of your feet, finding a modified up dog. Then reverse the movement. Bend through the elbows, push back into your heels, drop to the knees if you need to, and push back up into your plank line. From your plank, find your down dog and hold. Push into both hands, push into both feet. Stay and hold your down dog or play dynamically by giving me a little donkey kick. Think of relaxing through the knees and kicking your heels up towards your bum. Come back softly onto the balls of your feet. Hold your relaxed dog position, almost thinking chest to knees. Find your way onto the fingertips. Step up one leg at a time or bunny hop forward, landing softly on the balls of your feet. Connect your big toes and your ankles. Come into a narrow forward fold and bend and extend through the knees. Keeping soft fingertips connected to the mat. Your heart rate should have notched up a little bit. Soften through the knees and ragdoll roll up, finding your way back up along the center line. Hands to heart center. You ready to play? Let's do this. Take a gentle jump up or soft back bend. Land softly on the balls of your feet. Forward fold. Bend and extend. Feet more or less hip-width distance apart on the first Uttanasana. Keep your fingertips connected to the mat or give me a flat palm if you prefer, and hop back or step back into a plank. Push the mat away, nice and solid. Chaturanga down with control, using the knees if you need to. Bend the elbows, hug them in towards the ribs, and try to keep your body hovering just off the mat. Drag the weight forward over your wrists and into the big toes, and give me a modified up dog. Toes tucked under, or you can give me a flat bridge on the foot. Reverse the movement. Come back down, bend through the elbows, push the weight back into your heels. Drop to the knees if you need to, or push through the palms and see if you can come up negatively into a plank line. Find your way into a down dog and hold. Ease your way into your fingertips, bend through the knees, and give me a little donkey kick up, landing in a soft, relaxed dog. Think knees to chest. Feel the back chain of the legs working. Step up one leg at a time or bunny hop forward. Give me a narrow foot stance. Drop the feet together along the midline of the body and bend and extend. Fingertips connected to the mat or flat palm, depending on your range of motion, or maybe just hang from the waist. Play where you're at. All right, feet up along the center line. Hands to heart center. Back bend or little jump. Landing softly on your feet, fold forward, bend and extend as you play up Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep belly to spine the whole time. You're going to hop your way back into a plank line. Strong through the arms and the core and the tops and the back of your thighs. Bend through the elbows, coming down with control, hovering just off the floor. Drag the body weight forward into your wrists and your big toes, modifying your up dog. Don't collapse. Push those shoulder blades away. Come back down, or rather come back up the way you went down. Bend through the elbows, push the weight back into your heels. Work a negative push-up to find your way back into a plank line. Ease into your down dog. Hold your down dog or give me a little donkey kick, bending through the knees and kicking your heels up towards your bum to land in a relaxed dog. Think knees to chest. Ease your way onto the fingertips and bunny hop forward. Feet sandwiched together. Bend and extend through the knees, trying to keep your hands or your fingertips connected to the mat as you try to bring the crown of your head maybe closer to the tops of your knees. Softly soften through the legs and ragdoll roll up, finding your way back to Tadasana. Big breath in, take a little jump or a back bend, land softly on the balls of your feet, and then bend and extend as you modify your forward fold. Step or hop back into a plank, strong through the body, push the mat away with your palms. Bend through the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana as you come down. Drag the body weight forward. Set up an up dog, toes tucked under. And then reverse the movement. Bend through the elbows, push back into your heels. push into the palms and come up negatively into a plank line. Morph into your down dog. Push into the hands and the feet simultaneously. Hold your down dog or donkey kick up. Bend through the knees, kicking your heels towards your bum, landing softly on the balls of your feet and setting up a relaxed dog line. Ease your way onto the fingertips. Give me a little bunny hop forward, narrow on the feet, sandwich together along the midline of the body this time as you bend and extend through the back chain of the legs, trying to connect the hands to the mat if you're able to. Softly peel up along the center line and find your way back into mountain. We're going to do one more round. Take a little jump up, landing softly on the balls of your feet to fold forward. Feet just inside of hip width distance apart as you bend and extend. When you're ready, hop or step back into a plank, strong through the arms and the shoulders and the core. Body line parallel to the mat, chaturanga down. Use the knees if you need to. Bend through the elbows, trying to hover your chin just off the floor. Drag the body weight forward over the wrists and the big toes, coming into a modified up dog. Strong through the shoulders. Push the mat away and brace through the inner thighs and core. Reverse the movement. Bend the elbows, push the weight back into your heels. Push through the palms and come up into a plank line. Strong through that core. Find your down dog. Hold it. To play, donkey kick. Bend the knees, kick your heels up towards your bum, landing softly in a relaxed dog with a nice bend to the knees. Think knees to chest. Ease your way onto the fingertips and bunny hop forward. Feet sandwiched together as you land. Bend and extend through the back chain of the legs as you play up your forward fold, Uttanasana. Soften through the knees and peel up. We're going to do one more round before we stretch it out. Find the mountain. Take a little jump up, landing softly on the balls on your feet to fold forward and bend and extend. Feet just inside of hip width distance apart for the first one. Hop or step back into your plank. Hold, push the floor away. Resist with the hands. Let's work a chaturanga. Keep those elbows tucked in. Think of hugging in towards your rib cage as you come down with control, hovering your chin off the floor. Drag the weight forward, over the wrists and into the big toes. And then reverse the movement. Bend through the elbows. Push the weight back into your heels. Drop to the knees if you need to. Just push up and find your way back into a plank line. Ease your way into the down dog. Push into the hands and the feet simultaneously. Hold or donkey kick. Bend the knees. Flick your heels up towards your bum and land in a relaxed dog frame. Feet just inside of hip width distance apart. Big bend to the knees. Find your way onto the fingertips and hop forward. Sandwich the feet together as you land. Drop the heels of your feet and try to bend and extend dynamically through the legs as you connect as much of the palm to the mat as you're able to. You're going to gently roll up along the center line. Find your way back to Tadasana. Hands in prayer. Give yourself a little breather. We're going to find our way onto the back from here and play with some spinal rolls. Come down the way that's comfortable for you. Maybe just coming gently onto the haunches of your feet. Placing one hand behind you and the other, and gently coming to a sit on your bum. Make sure you've got room to play on the mat. We're going to play up the spinal roll. I'd like you to think boat and tuck the weight just off your tailbone, nodding your chin softly towards the chest as you gently rock back as far as your shoulder blades and back up. You can stay here, keeping your spinal roll really basic. If rocking back and forth is not happening for you, maybe just come gently to your back and gently cradle rock your lower back side to side. Otherwise, you can play up the spinal roll, maybe crossing the legs, hugging the tops of your feet in, almost trying to hug the undercarriage of your foot towards your bum line. Tuck your chin in towards the chest, holding onto the toes as you gently tuck into as tight a ball frame as you can, playing up your little spinal roll. Make sure that you're rounding out through the spine and rocking only from just off your tailbone as far as your shoulder blades. Don't take it onto the neck, and keep your chin tucked in. Give me 2 more little rocks, then we'll find our way into Paschimottanasana, a seated forward fold. So last one. As you complete the last one, come back into a seated frame and extend the legs out in front. Shaking them out on the mat. If the back chain of the legs is tight, take a big breath in and float your hands overhead, and on the exhale, fold forward, trying to reach around your feet. If you can't reach around, maybe just dropping the fingertips to the mat or reaching for your strap. For the first Paschimottanasana, you could just loop the banded portion of the band around your feet and just give me wide elbows. Play where you're at. From here, we're going to open up into a wide-legged seated straddle, peel up along the center line, and pivot on the mat so that you can open up the leg on one side, coming into as wide a V as you can. Check that you're not stuck behind your bum bones. Drag your body weight forward, almost tilting the pelvis down to the 12 o'clock position. If it feels uncomfortable, maybe take your block and position your bum just on the edge of the block so that you're tilting your pelvis down to the 6 o'clock position, and you've got more leverage to bring your torso closer to the floor. Take a big breath in, and if you're able, fold forward, maybe stopping at 45 and just lengthening through the feet and the fingertips. Or if you have the range of motion, you can float the hands down to the mat, either elbows or maybe stacking your forearms as you rest your forehead, or coming into full extension with the arms extended out in front. If you can easily come down, maybe finding your way onto the chest and then rotating to place one cheek softly on the mat. Play where you're comfortable. There's no right and wrong here. Just do what feels natural for your body. Gently peel your way up along the center line and find your way back into Paschimottanasana. So swing the one leg over, come back to a seated frame at the front of your mat, and give me one big forward fold. Big stretch up, framing your head, and on the exhale, fold forward. As you come into Paschimottanasana this time, try to bring your chest maybe closer to the tops of your thighs and try to relax the sacrum and the lower back area. Just give me a couple of relaxed breaths here, trying to give me as much length through the spine as you can, and really try to open up that tightness along the back chain of the legs. Try not to have the knees bending up to the ceiling. Think of softly relaxing them to the floor. If they're really tight, pedal them out. Move into those areas of tightness. Do what you need to open and relax. Breathe into the stretch. Give me roughly 10 more seconds here. Then we're going to reach for the strap, and we're going to feed our right foot into the strap, and we're going to use a modified roll down to come onto the back and work a little stretch series. When you're ready, peel softly up along the center line and reach for that looped strap. Yeah? Feed the loop around your right foot, securing the D strap. This one's got a nice snug fit. All right. You're going to hold onto the strap with your right hand. You're going to float your left arm out in front, palm facing into the center line. Lift and hover your right leg off the floor. Give me a nice long back line. You can either keep your left leg extended as you roll down, or you can bend the knee and connect the sole of the foot to help ground yourself through the lower back if you've got any lower back issues. So play where you're comfortable. Nod your chin towards your chest and round out your spine, looking down towards your pubis. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Bend the knee, connect the sole of the foot to the mat, and come to lying on the mat with the left arm in a soft T frame, or you can hold onto the strap with both hands. Tug down and try to open up the back chain of the right leg. If you're really tight, give me a soft bend and extend and try and open up dynamically. If you can, hold that stretch. Hold on to the strap with both hands. Take a big breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, scoop, peel up, look down towards your belly button, and brace through that right foot. Ground through the left foot at the same time, and try to pull up from the pubis towards your belly button, tuck down from the sternum, and pull in from the side. So you're working almost a mini crunch with your whole belly engaged. Softly peel back down to the mat, and hold on to the strap with your right hand as you T-shape the left. Extend the left leg if you can. Drag the foot along the mat and brace and kick into the heel. Tug down actively on the strap and bend the right elbow if you've got the range of motion and it's easy to keep that leg extended, so that you're really working with resistance and opening up additional space along the back chain of the right leg. Supta Uttita Hasta Padangustasana A. Supine hand to big toe A. We're going to open up into the B line. Take a big breath in and allow the leg to flop or open up to the right as you gently rotate your head to the left. Don't worry about how low that leg is coming to the floor. Focus on keeping your left hip bone heavy. You could even place your fingertips on the left hip bone to remind yourself to push back into the mat so that you keep your left bum cheek and your left shoulder blade connected into the mat. If you find your left shoulder and bum peeling up off the mat, that's your body telling you that you're moving past your current range of motion. So play where you're at. Don't force the body. Just allow the body to open up naturally as much as it wants to today. Hold here for a couple more gentle breaths. Then we're going to work a modified twist, a little Supta Mariachiasana. Bring that leg gently up along the midline of the body and change your hands, grabbing hold of the strap in your left hand and T-shaping the right. You're going to softly drop the foot to the left as you look to the right, bringing your right bum bone right off the mat and thinking of rotating through the right hip as if you wanted to stack the right hip on top of the left hip. Come over as far as you can, bringing the leg as close to the floor as you can, trying to keep your right shoulder heavy and into the mat. If this feels really uncomfortable for you, you could bend that right leg and maybe just hold softly onto the undercarriage of the leg, or you can tuck both knees together and modify your twist, stacking the knees as you twist and rotate both legs to the left. So play where you're comfortable. Try to keep your right shoulder blade heavy and connected to the mat, and make sure you're rotating your head in the opposite direction. Find your way softly back towards the midline of the body and change your hands, holding onto the strap with the right hand and floating the left arm overhead. Brace into your left leg or bend the knee and connect the sole of the foot. You're going to give me a one-legged roll up. Nod your chin to your chest, brace into both feet and peel back up to your start position. Coming back into Paschimottanasana, let go of the strap, or you could feed the strap around both feet if you need to. And come into your forward fold, thinking nose to knee, pedal out the back chain of the legs if you're really tight, and then settle into your stretch for a couple of breath cycles, opening up as much as you can. Relax the lower back, relax your sacrum, give me elasticity through the spine, and try to drop your chest as close to the top of your thighs as you can. Peel softly up along the center line. Feed the loop off your right foot and loop your left foot in. If you've got your strap, lock the D-ring into place. Sit up nice and tall, holding onto the strap with your left hand and floating the right arm out in front. Hover the right leg off the floor. Nod your chin to your chest. You can bend your supported leg if you need to. Otherwise, as soon as your lower back imprints into the mat, bend the right leg, connect the sole of the foot to the mat. Hold on to the strap with both hands, bend and extend, and just find that long line through the left leg. When you're ready, you're going to Either keep that right leg bent or you're going to extend as you scoop and peel up. So do what feels most natural for you. Hold. Try to imprint your lower back into the mat. Look down towards the belly button and engage your whole core. Then softly peel back down to the mat. If you've got your supported leg bent, maybe try to extend through that leg as you open up your right arm into a soft T frame. Keep bracing into both legs. If you can easily extend your left leg, try to hold as close to the strap line as you can and maybe bend the left elbow so that you're getting more work along the back chain of the leg. Try not to arch your head up to the ceiling. Keep your chin line soft and relaxed. You could roll up a hand towel or use a yoga blanket behind your head for a little bit of support if you need to. We're going to open up into the B line when you're ready. Take a big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, allow your left leg to drop to the left and rotate your head in the opposite direction, keeping a soft T frame through the arms. You could place your right hand on the right hip to remind yourself to push down and ground through the bum on the right side of the body and keep that right shoulder connected. So just play where you're at, opening up the body and playing with as much range of motion as it allows for. Keep your belly button heavy into the mat and make sure your head is rotated in the opposite direction. Peel back up towards the midline of the body and give me a change over of the hands. Holding onto the right hand, holding onto the strap with the right hand, drop the leg to the right, bringing your left bum bone, off the mat, trying to rotate, almost stacking the left hip on top of the right. As you come into your gentle twist, you can modify by bending that lead leg or bending both legs in and modifying the twist. So just find what feels good for you today and play with your modified twist. Try to keep your left shoulder heavy and as connected to the mat as your body will allow for. Give me about 5 more relaxed breaths here. Then we'll use that one-legged roll up to come back into Paschimottanasana before we bring it into relaxation. Playing with a little Nidra exercise to chill out. Alrighty, finding your way back towards the midline of the body. Bend your supported leg if you need to, or keep the leg extended. Hold on to the strap with your left hand and float the right arm up to the ceiling. Brace into both heels or bend that supported leg. Nod your chin towards your chest and peel up into a one-legged roll-up. Drop both legs alongside each other, letting go of the strap. You could feed the strap off the foot, loop it around both feet if you need to. As you find your last Paschimottanasana, play where you're comfortable, pedaling out the back chain of the legs if you need to. Give me about 5 more relaxed breaths here. Then we'll use one seated roll down to come onto the mat and take it into relaxation. Gently peel up along the center line as you sit up nice and tall. If you've got a bolster, you could place the bolster behind your lower back or underneath the thighs or behind your head, depending on where you need your support when you come into Shavasana. Open up your feet about hip-width distance apart and float the arms out in front, palms looking into the center line. Take a big breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Round out your spine in C-curve. Articulate down one vertebra at a time. As soon as your back line connects to the mat, drop the arms at your sides, palms looking up to the ceiling, and just allow your feet to softly flop out. Then rotate through the ankle joints for me, maybe giving me 3 traces in one direction, and then 3 in the opposite direction. And then think of coming to stillness and splaying your toes out and then relaxing, playing with that movement, just releasing any tension in the arch and the bridge of your foot. Softly flop the feet out and then rotate your inner thighs in and out, to find the release that you need, and end with the feet softly splayed to the corners of your mat, rotating the inner thighs up. Then wiggle through your pelvis and your hip bones and find a release in the lower section of your trunk. Make your bum bone heavy into the mat and relax your bum and your pelvis. Then wiggle through the top part of your torso. Think shoulders, chest, ribs. Wiggle around and then settle into the mat, finding the release through the shoulders that you need. Rotate through the wrist line, maybe 3 rotations in one direction and 3 in the other. Then come to stillness. Wriggle through the arms maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Wriggle through the shoulders and the arms. And then allow the arms to softly splay up to the ceiling and allow the fingers to curl in towards the midline so that there's no tension at all in your hands. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, rotate your head to the left. Inhale, come back to the center line. Exhale, rotate to the right. You're going to do that 2 or 3 more times in your own time, playing with the breath pattern and using the side drop to release any tension that you're feeling along the neckline, maybe bleeding through the collar line and into the top of your shoulders and your chest. Find your release, use your breath. Find your way softly back towards the midline of the body and actively nod your chin towards the chest so that you're letting go of any tension in the back of your neck. Wriggle around and settle your whole body comfortably into the mat, focusing on your breath pattern once you've found stillness. As you exhale, think of a calming sensation emanating from your crown, bleeding down through the head, through the shoulders, into the tips of your fingers. Take a big breath in, focus once more on the crown of your head, and focus on a softness extending down from the crown of your head, through the neckline, through the trunk, bleeding down into the legs and finding its way to the very tips of your toes. Every time you exhale, soften out the whole body and think of sinking really deeply into your mat, almost as if you were a block of butter melting on a hot skillet. Stay here for a couple of gentle breath cycles, focusing on relaxing and releasing, softening the whole body on the exhale. When you're ready, gently open the eyes, bend the knees and connect the soles of your feet to the mat as if you were setting up a loose bridge line. Take a big breath in, and on the exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. On the inhale, allow the knees to softly fall back with the feet not quite touching the mat. Play with that movement dynamically, getting a little release into the lower back, or make the movement more intense by exhaling, nodding your chin to your chest, tucking into a little ball frame, imprinting your lower spine, bringing the weight off the shoulders and holding onto the undercarriage of your feet, almost thinking of tucking your knees in towards your nose. Inhale and drop back softly, holding onto the knees or the shins. Exhale, tuck back into your little ball. Play where you're comfortable. Find the release where you need it. Let's do one last one before we bring it into Parsa Garbhasana. Use your breath. When you're ready, slowly float your right arm overhead and roll over onto the right side of your body in a fetal position. Using your bottom arm as a pillow, you can either drape the top hand on your legs or maybe connect your palms softly to the mat. Keep your eyes soft and unfocused and just chill here for a couple of gentle breath cycles. When you're ready, You're going to softly push into that top hand and find your way into a comfortable seated frame of your choice. Maybe just sitting in easy sitting, half or full lotus, whichever floats your boat today. Float your hands into gentle prayer in front of your heart, nodding your chin towards your chest to end off your practice by saying Namaste. Namaste to you all. Thank you so much for coming out and playing with me today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this class, and remember to shoot me your comments in the comments box below. Before I sign off for today's class, for tomorrow's Pilates conditioning class, you are going to need 2 slider discs that you can use on the floor to play with. If you don't have a slider disc, you could maybe just cut a stiff piece of cardboard. That will work really well on a smooth surface. So if you're working on maybe a wooden floor or a tiled surface or a smooth surface, the cardboard will be able to slide comfortably on it. You could even modify by using a face cloth. You'll be able to get nice traction and slide around on the face cloth. If you're working on a carpeted surface, the face cloth won't work. You'll need something that can glide over the carpet. So maybe a stiff piece of paper or cardboard would suffice. It doesn't need to be a round circle. Obviously, round is easier as you're moving. It could even be a small rectangular shape. Doesn't need to be too big. All right. I shall see you tomorrow for playtime and conditioning on the mat. Until then, keep it light.